Hello, 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 kings, queens, saints, and ain'ts. Welcome to another session of You, Me, and the Trinity's Christ Connections and Conversations, where we hear the myth, bust, and dispel lies. So, what I want you to do is go get your mama, your grandma, your cousin, your sisters, your aunties, and your friends, because we about to
All of
go in. Okay, all of them. We want you to get all of them. Well, as you know, me and your girl Elder Cam down there, you, me, and the Trinity, but we always like to bring some friends along with us. We're gonna let them say hey to y'all, and we're gonna dive right into this conversation. I'm gonna go over here with Ray first because she knew, and she got the hair. She got the hair. Yes. So, Ray, tell the people hey. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ray Shara, but everyone calls me Ray. I live in Long Beach, California. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I have two children. My daughter is 12, was going on 12, and my son is going on 11.
Okay.
Welcome.
Nika. Hey, Nika.
Hey y'all. I am Shanika and I am a mother of two, age 20 and about to be 11. My baby's about to be 11 in a few weeks. I can't believe that. It's crazy. I am the owner of Nika's Natural Skin and Hair Care. And I am your sister in Christ and your homegirl, your friend.
So, you want to tell people hey?
Hey y'all. Hey. I am Elder Kim. I am one half of You, Me, and the Trinity, one part of Christ Connections and Conversations. I am a mother of three. I am all things women's empowerment. I like to call myself a women's empowerment enthusiast, and I am just so happy and grateful for y'all to join us tonight.
I mean,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah. Well, see, we not telling everybody about ourselves for real, for real.
Yeah.
I am your favorite physical, spiritual, and emotional doula coach, Ebony Lachelle. I am the owner of Birthing Purpose Doula Services LLC. So if you're pregnant, you think about getting pregnant, you need to holler at your girl. Plus, I also run a little side business, Lash by Lachelle. Y'all, let me get close. Y'all see them? Woo! Magnetic lashes. I got lips. I got everything you need. But that ain't what we here to talk about today. Oh yeah, I got two children too. He 12. He about to be 13 on the 16th. And I
Y'all
got a
get
seven.
old.
Now, whatever. I only get better. And I
I'm gonna
have
get
a
started
seven
in
year
a minute.
I have a 7 year old who thinks she's 25. So
Is.
anywho, um, tonight we are here to talk about do good girls finish last? Y'all know I like to just dive in there. So let's get it.
Let's go, ladies. One of y'all, do good girls finish last, in your opinion?
Yes,
Why do you think? Why do you say yes?
because we give the most chances. We end up being the most naive. We are the most trusting. Um, we're always trying to find good in the situation. We endure the most pain. What else? I mean, I could go on and on.
I mean, you done
we
gave
also,
all the answers.
I mean,
And we
we're
just finna
trying to
go
be
and
the
close
most
it down.
biblical.
Well, we can wrap it up. Thank y'all for joining.
We try to be the most biblical. We try to be like the old saints and hang on in there, like,
Hang on in there.
but we ain't
Yeah.
no more. So we finishing last.
I'm gonna add to
Listen,
that. We
Go ahead.
give the most.
what you
We
say?
give the most of ourselves, our time, our gifts, our fruits. I think that we also, like she said, try to see the best in people, and we will take the little good and make it so big, like it is something so grand that should be just given. Just it should be just a because. It's like we finished last because we often put everything and everyone else before us in hopes in return that we'll get the same type of treatment.
Wow. So why do y'all think that? So where did this start from? Where do you think this came from? This, no matter what, always be the best woman to the man
Birth.
you possibly be.
Birth.
I don't think it's
Birth.
strictly
They teach
from
us that.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, girl. We just be talking. We just be talking to Holly.
I don't think it's just from birth. I think that it's cultural. So like y'all in Alabama.
It is culture.
I'm from South Carolina. We were taught you don't get divorced. Like you know, that's like cultural, you just stick it out, stick it out, stick it out. And all we've seen is our parents, our grandparents, aunt and uncle, aunties, like cousins, like we see them stick it out. We see them stay married. And we see them do, settle for anything. Just say they got a man. And out here in California, no. They ain't doing that out here. You mad, I don't want it anymore. Bye. So I think it's cultural more than it's like anything. I think it's more cultural. I think culturally, but the way this new wave coming through and us here, we ain't doing that. So I think we're adjusting to the tide. Like we're changing the tide right now. So even though they may in the past we may have finished last, we ain't really finishing last in the same context anymore. Because we're rising to the occasion. We're doing what we got to do to secure our own bags and do what we got to do to make ourselves happy. So what may have caused us to finish last before, in the past, it may seem as though we're finishing last, but now I think we are adjusting to the tide and changing the stigma of what does it mean to be married, to be a good girl, to be a bad girl. Like the bad girls may have all this stuff, but yet we're changing the stigma on good girl, or what a good girl really is, if that makes sense.
Nika, what do you think the whole good girl?
I think some of that is accurate, very accurate, especially about being told you stay in there, you hang it out, stay there to the end. I've never been married, thank you Jesus. And let me preface that by saying I have yet, before this relationship I'm in, to have every box checked for what I would say a husband should be. So I'm grateful that I didn't marry what I could have or should have, or some people think I should have married before. But back to this question, I think that some of it is cultural in the sense that where we're from. And I think some of it is cultural in the sense of being the ride or die chick, because they came out hard, 90s and early 2000s. Be the chick that stay by your man, down for whatever, all that stuff. We were kind of programmed without realizing it that we were being told to stand by your man, all that stuff years and years ago. And I think, some of that stimulates from that, but also I think some of it is personal self-esteem. Some of that is self-esteem. You want to be good enough for him to marry you, or you want to be good enough. Girl, you got to get in there and learn how to cook. You can't get no man, you can't cook and you can't clean. Some of that is they kind of program our mind into being these certain types of women, when we're young, really.
I totally agree. I think it comes, Ebony said, from birth. I'm almost inclined to agree. with birth, because like as long as as far back as I can remember, even when we were playing with baby dolls, we were playing house. We were taught how to, take care of your little baby, and you got a kitchen set. So, you got to know how to cook for your family and this, that, and the other. I think that it did start like very early on.
Right.
As children. So maybe not birth, but very young in adolescence. And it's crazy because the boys were outside doing what they wanted to do. They wasn't being told.
Just like they doing now.
Right. It's fine. Like I have two brothers. I don't recall my brothers having to, or being told, well, my dad may have said you want to make sure you're a good husband, but he ain't sit them down and be like, okay, well, let me show you how to pay bills. Let me show you X, Y, and Z. So I don't know what just happened, but it's conditioned for girls early, but we don't really see that. And I can even say with me, I'm just as guilty because I got sons. And I know for a fact that I'm harder on my daughter about being a woman, being a young lady, carrying yourself and always be seen like a young lady than I am on my boys. And I guess it's cultural too, because that's what I was taught. And so I was just passing the buck along, but like she said, it's the tides are changing because this new generation, they ain't really feeling all that stuff that we had to, that we
they're not even feeling marriage if you talk about it. Like,
no, because why?
No, why?
Because, I mean, like, really, because if you think about it, we're taught to be chastening and super holy and all of this while they out doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? So when they get, and I say this all the time, we are conditioned to have troubled marriages because they get to do whatever they want, but they want the good girl over here who ain't done nothing. But then when you get that good girl who ain't done nothing, who been taught this not what you do, they don't know how to coexist because he been out doing whatever with Sally, Ray, Jin, Fifi, Boom Quisha, all of them. So and then you like, oh no, that's not holy. So I mean, like, so even once you get your MRS degree, sometimes you still finishing last.
You know what? One thing, one of
thing.
the things that bothers me with that is, y'all ever heard, man, I wish I had stuck with you instead of married such and such. And
yeah.
Don't that burn you up? It's like when I was with you, you didn't even want me. Now,
right?
Now you see me here, and I got all this going on.
Now you want to come back
with your girl, and you ain't,
because she ain't nothing.
Oh, he go and marry somebody that look like you?
Because he can't have you no more.
That's a whole nother level.
Like, wait.
It's okay,
wait. Why somebody said we need a spiritual roughneck? Good God Almighty.
No. I don't.
Hey, they exist out here in this good work.
Y'all remember that song? I need a roughneck. Gotta get a roughneck.
You can have that. You can really have that.
Been there, done that. I want it. I'm too old for that. Give me the good boy. Give me the straight and narrow. Give me the corny one. I don't care. Just give me.
Give me the nerd.
Wait. So, okay. Somebody said those bad boys always catch and keep the attention of the good girls, though.
You took the words out my mouth because that was my next question. That was my next question. So we, I think we are probably at one point in our lives we're all considered the good girls because we church girls, all that stuff. Did y'all go through a phase where y'all only dated or liked bad boys?
Kyle, I'm married
on my street because I was married to one.
Me too. Like, get off my street. Let's go to somebody else's street.
Listen.
I'm put this one on. Shanika, you get that.
But why?
I ain't never wanted a bad boy.
You never had a bad boy before? You never went to that stage?
I got time for that. My granddaddy was a preacher, baby. We was not doing that on MLK. No.
Okay, so no, my daddy was a preacher. And so when I went, I was like, I'm always this and always that, you have to be a certain level because can't nobody be going out there doing that because everybody know your mama and your daddy. So, when I got grown, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I want to do. But I mean, I shouldn't have. But it is what it is.
Mhm.
But now you know what I'm saying, I need somebody who can stimulate me mentally, not just who just got a whole lot of swag or whatever.
It's a
Yeah,
phase. It's a
yeah,
phase.
my little girl come talking to me.
A phase that I went through. I know, and transparently speaking, like Ebony said, I married one. Like my first love was a hood dude, a dope dealer, whatever you want to call it. And then my
Call
first
it what it
husband,
was.
huh?
Call it
My
what it
first
was.
husband was one also. I don't know, Richard. I see you saying it's a double standard, but I think at that point we were trying to break out of the good girl shell or the box that we had been put in for so long. I think that that's why I went over to the bad boy side, is because I was starting to see at that age, like, being a good girl is exhausting. You know,
It is.
I mean, if I can be honest, especially a young one. Now, we're grown and older now, but when you are a teenager and you have all of these things reeled and instilled in you that you cannot do and you should not do, and it looks like everybody else in your circle is having a blast, having a ball, doing whatever, you want a piece of that too. So that was my reason for it. I was just like, okay, let me go over here and see what everybody else got going on. Because me over here living this good girl life, got to be in the house by 8:30. Everybody's still outside on the block. That got real old real fast. And so I was a little tempted. So I went on out there, and I should have stayed in the house.
Stayed in the house.
I should have stayed in the house.
So good evening, Denise. Richard says there's a friend zone full of good guys, consoling good girls with heartbreak from bad boys.
Where they at?
I'm weak.
Where they at? You know where they are? They're somewhere healing from women who've been too controlling, women who had trust issues.
Because let's be real. The good boys don't pick the good girls in the beginning.
Okay. Some of the good guys took a while to become good guys. They weren't always good guys.
That's number one. And number two, they weren't checking for us.
Still ain't.
They ain't.
No, they somewhere lusting after one of these Instagram models.
They got nothing to say to that. But that's the whole truth. The truth of the matter is, it did not seem, I don't know about y'all, but it did not seem that the good guys were interested in the good girls in those days.
Richard, we ain't talking about good guys right now. We're talking about good girls.
Richard, where they at? Send them to me. Let me see what they look like, what they talking about. Because if they ain't talking about them, we don't want them nowhere. Good girl or bad girl. I ain't finna be fooling nobody. We talking about that.
I'm weak.
But I was a terrible guy at one time, so the good girl was too. That's my point. You just validated my point, Richard. There you go.
That was Ronald who validated.
I know. I'm asking for Richard. I'm telling Richard, there you go, because like when we were young good girls, because we're grown women now. So, but when we were young good girls, the good guys didn't want us.
Elise, you told it right now.
When they get the good guys,
they damage. So, well, y'all ain't talking about good guys. We're talking about good women. Good women.
The good girl, breaking the good girl cycle. Well, not even necessarily breaking it. Not even breaking it, but just like dispelling the myth that being a good girl gets you a certain type of.
Because it don't.
Because it does not.
It don't.
You can be the best woman that you could possibly be to a man, and if you're not what that man wants,
he don't care.
Can't nothing change that mind's man until that mind's man is ready to be changed.
So what is going
on? Not that man's mind, but that mind's man.
That man's mindset. I was talking to my daughter earlier today, and we're very open. We talk about everything. And so we were talking about this young guy she was telling me about that she's dealing with or whatever. So I asked her, I was like, well, do y'all go together or you go with him? Because it's a difference.
It's a difference.
It's a difference. It's a difference if y'all going together. She was like, well, we go together. This was a couple days ago. So today she came back and was like, well, Mom, I guess I was just kind of going with him because, I had some questions and he gave me an answer that I really didn't like, but I went ahead and I blocked him because, I don't want to be playing this game with him. And I'm like, okay, I totally respect and I understand that, because one of the things that we do as women, if we meet a guy and he's very vocal upfront about what he does not want. I do not want a relationship. I am not interested in entering in anything outside of, but a friendship, whatever. We try to be the best woman we can be to that man to try to sway his opinion, if I do X, Y, and Z, if I'm always there for him, if I take him lunch, on his break, if I call him in the morning to pray for him, whatever, it's going to change his mind. That does not necessarily make a man want you. That man ain't going to want you until his mind is made up that he wants you. So I respect the fact, that's what I told her, respect the fact that he was young man enough to tell you up front what he did not want. Now, if you stick around and you stay after he told you what he did not want, then the burden becomes solely on you.
Yeah, that's self-induced pain.
You cannot change a man's mind. It don't matter how good of a woman you are.
Rich, you got so much stuff you want to come on. You want to argue with us on live?
It seemed like it.
You want me? I want me to go ahead and send you the link.
Folks only view the guy. Well, I mean, but what other lens can we?
Because I'm having a hard time understanding. They all said, "Do you want to come on?" Because the day they want a good girl, but in reality they want a bad girl who does bad things. Meaning, yeah.
Ooh,
hold on.
That sums it up.
Let me see what Carlton said.
They want good girls that do bad girl things. That's what it seems like.
Because Carlton learn to start reading the evidence what's in front of you. Stop hoping you can change someone. I mean, this is the other thing that Ray said before she had to go was that we hold on. We've been structured to hold on to the potential of things. Mm-hmm. Hey, Coach J Hart. I don't have time for nobody else's potential or nothing. Like, what is we doing? It's like I'm 39. What you talk to me? I mean, like, who finna be friends with you for 3 to 4 years? What do you do that at? I just cannot. We barbecue on a meal doing. That's what I need to know. We barbecue on a meal doing, baby. I mean, because at this point, I have poured into so many individuals until my cup was empty because I'm a nurturer. And so I come in and okay, well, you and I study people. So you start telling me things you want to do. Next thing you know, I got ideas and this and this. I'm not doing that for nobody else. Nobody else.
But just playing devil's advocate.
I might.
Just a little bit. Is it fair to the next one that comes along that may not have it all the way together, but they're a good person?
What's country, Jonathan?
Barbecue a meal, do I bet?
Is it making? Are we making other people suffer for what the ones before them did because we poured out all of our goodness into the wrong situation? And so when a better situation presents itself, but it's not necessarily perfect, we're already fed up and tired and frustrated. And so we don't want to pour anything else into anybody else because we done used up all of our goodness, pouring it into the wrong well.
No, what I need is one of our favorite words here on YM3C3. Reciprocity. You give me, I'm going to give you, but what you can no longer get from me is me to continue to be a steady stream of pouring. So I'm going to give you a little bit, see what you do with that. Then if you do something with it, then I got, we can open the floodgates of heaven. Let it rain.
Not open the floodgates.
Excuse me
I
while
don't
I
know. I think I'm guilty of. I said several times today, like I'm tired, I'm burnt out. I've got to stop saying that. I've been told, but
See? Look at them.
see what I mean? They don't want a good girl. They don't want a good. The good girl equals the boring girl.
Right.
That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. So
find out.
This is why I feel like I need to talk to. I need to see some brothers' faces because.
Well, look. Hey, Jay Hart, go log in.
No, come on, Jonathan. Because I need these men are stressing me out. Like,
who you want me to send it to? Jonathan, we're calling you.
Because
y'all know we be doing
in essence, it does no good. Is he saying that it does no good to be a good girl?
That's what I mean. That's what I feel like they saying. Let me ooh, child. Evidently, just sound like Carlton saying, just go out there and thought it out. That's what I heard.
So men don't want good girls; they want thoughts and.
Yep. Yes, that's what they want. Cause I don't care what they say. You can't tell me that ain't what. Cause I'ma whisper this. Can y'all hear me?
Girl, let me lean in.
The hoes be winning. I'm just saying.
when
you know what? You better not say that again. You better not say that again. I know that much. I know.
Everyone on my nose
said a girl like me. And them hoes for a girl like me. How come they be winning?
Hey.
That's not true. That's not true.
What's not true?
Are the hoes winning?
It's not that they're winning, because people think that just because they're getting chose that they're winning. They're getting chose because what they're doing. But
I mean, but they marrying them.
Slowly, but they surely getting dropped. But what are they getting married for? They get married for all the wrong reasons, and their life a living hell. But their life is a living hell, though. Like everybody say, everybody. But
it appears that they are living great and grand.
And it appears
that way to me that they living great and grand.
How come they be winning? Ain't no hope for a girl like me. How come they be
wholesome?
Are you saying that it's just a facade? Is that what you're saying, Jay?
Some of it is. Some of it is, and then some of them are. But some of them are getting married for the wrong reason and living a lie and not really saying that, hey, I know I'm married, but I'm still not fully fulfilled in my marriage. But I'm not going to divorce him because I got to keep this lie going.
Carlton possibly hasn't had a good woman in the streets. That's
it. That's it.
That's a possibility, but I mean, sometimes it don't even seem like that's enough. Because you can love them, you can be the best woman to them, and you can get in the bedroom and be Vanessa.
They don't care. They don't care.
It still ain't enough. You can turn, flip, trick, split, sideways.
They don't care.
Who flipping at our age? Shoot. That's being gay after that. Shoot.
Who's not flipping at our age? That's my
If you ain't got you a flip, what you doing?
I went to church today. I ain't go via Facebook. I was in the building. I was in the building. Oh,
my Bible said that the marriage bed is undefiled.
It is. But my thing is,
what's
who's actually living the truth, and who's putting the truth out in the streets?
Ooh,
what do you mean?
How many married couples how many married couples are actually putting the truth out in the streets? How many people actually saying that? Hey,
plenty of them.
That's who.
And plenty of them are putting the truth out in the street.
Plenty of them are.
That what? They're happy?
Yeah.
So are you
or they content? I'm not saying anything.
I mean, what he sound like he's saying is the married couples out here lying.
That's what I heard. That's what I had.
He said y'all lying. To the people.
So, tonight, y'all, this is my friend, Tiki, my schoolmate. We go way back. But tonight, we are discussing, shattering the good girl image. I believe you and I, Tiki, had a conversation one time about church girls and the image and how we are not expected to say certain things or pray for certain things. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a long time.
We did.
But we wanted to ask you, so we asked all the other ladies, do you feel like good girls finish last? Like, are the thoughts winning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think that's so?
They win
Maybe we.
because they're giving up all the cookies and the candy and the chicken wings and the French fries.
The chicken wings and the French fries.
And then you ask yourself, what are they actually winning?
It's
Just a warm bed.
Wait a minute. In the moment, they are winning.
Thank you.
No.
Say that again.
In the moment, they are winning.
Social security checks.
It looked like they won a little bit of stability to me.
Stability.
So is that all marriage is? Is cars and money and
No, that's not
and
what
status on Facebook? So that's all they're winning. That's honestly all they're winning, because some of their men are still stepping out on them, but they're happy with the cars and the status and this, that, and the other. So they're gonna keep up the facade that they're winning. But their man stepping out and dating their sister, their cousin, their mama, their co-worker.
Let us not pretend. Let us not pretend that as women we are reared to marry someone who can provide for you. So the end goal is to get someone who can provide you and the children that you plan to bear for him a stable environment. So that's across all cultures. Hold on. That's across all cultures. So it appears that by the level, the measuring stick, that the hoes is winning, because that's what you go say. Well, honey, you go get you somebody that can take care of you, that can take care of them children, that can provide for you. So no, and let's be realistic. When you go out and you hear women, the older women, telling the younger women, how many of y'all for real said, well, baby, make sure you get somebody that can pray for you? They don't tell you that.
No,
they ain't telling you that.
That part. That part. You said stable.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Because that's what's has been given over from generation to generation to generation. They ain't said with nobody, baby, when you feeling down, make sure you get you a man that can pray down heaven for you. They're not saying that. So by the measure, the cultural across the board measure of winning, the hoes is winning.
I agree. I agree. But you did say stable. Across the board. That's what you said. You said stable across the board. You didn't just say money, cars, and a house. You said across the board.
I said culturally across the board.
Culturally across the board. I mean, look at our culture. I mean, do I want to be graded by our culture?
Like she said, that's the measuring stick that we are given as young women. Provide. It don't matter what the man look like. Really don't even matter how he treats you. As long as he can provide for you.
As long as he's a good provider, then you're supposed to be with him.
Then you're supposed to be able to stay. You're supposed to be able to deal with it. Like I said, and I said it on this platform before, my first husband was extremely physically, emotionally, mentally, and financially abusive. You know what I was told? Stick it out. Work it through. Sometimes you got to deal with something. You got to learn how to put up with some stuff. Never, girl, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Leave that situation. You're valuable. You're worthy. You don't have to deal with that. God has placed so many great things in you. Leave. Don't let nobody pull you down. I never heard that. I heard y'all still young. He got to grow, stick and stay. Because he could provide.
And that's it.
So you know what that made me do? That made me make the mistake in my next marriage to be like, well, you know what? You ain't got to provide for me, because I had a provider before. I will be the man provisionally. I pay all these bills. You just be nice to me. Then you know what that made me? Miserable. Because I'm stuck. I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure out how to pay these bills. But I got somebody that's kind to me, but kind of ain't paid. Kind of ain't paid nan bill. So where is the balance? I didn't have it. I had to go through all of these things in order to now, at the ripe old age of 40, to figure out, yes, you need provision, but you also need, somebody that can pour back into you, that can pray for you, that can cover you. The emotional side, all of that stuff works together, but we're not taught that. We're taught that as long as we naturally provide, then we should just sit back and be quiet and let the Lord deal with them. And the Lord will turn them around. The Lord will deal with them 60 years later.
Or what about the men that cheat? And the mothers, the elder women always say, well, every man cheats. That's not fair. And it's not the truth. It's actually inaccurate, because coming from a 2-parent home where my mom and dad are yet married, they say sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, preaching the gospel, bring it, and they've been married for 39 years. So my daddy, 37, 30 something. They've been married 30 some years. I can't keep up, y'all. I'm sorry. My dad just stood up in the pulpit about 3 weeks ago, and he was talking about my mom, how awesome of a wife she was. And he said, when he stood before God and took this woman as his wife, he made the decision that this was it. It wasn't nobody else. All men don't cheat. All men don't cheat. He said, have I been tempted? Did somebody throw it at me? Of course they did, because they want her spot, because they see how well I treat her. He said, but all men don't treat. I just feel like in our culture, there's a great imbalance of communication that we're not, we're not telling people that, you can get married or you can have a great relationship and build, and it works. You're going to have some bumps in the road. You're going to have some miscommunications, but ain't nobody talking about healthy relationships. All we ever hear about is the toxic.
This is true.
Agreed. 100%.
You know what? That just made me know we need to do our Let's Stay Together session again. Because my parents, June, will be married 41 years.
God bless the bishop.
I'll look at them and be like, and Kim be picking at me sometimes because I'll be like, my daddy did S, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z. And she'd be like, evening. But you know what? That's what he did.
They don't make them like that no more. I don't think. Do they make them like that still? Because my stepdad was that man. Like, my stepdad was the epitome of a man. Came in, took my mama, and her 4 children out the hood. Like 3 months into the relationship, we bought her a house, all these other things. We don't. I don't know if that men like that still exist.
My grandfather was that kind of man.
But I do think they exist.
I
do think they exist.
I think they still exist. I think they still exist. I think we both now, men and women, have been so damaged. Everyone has experienced so much damage, and we have to, and I say this all the time, we have to get back to the spot where we can love and give from a vulnerable place. Shut up, Kimberly.
I was about to say it too, Kim.
So I mean, but it's true, because if we withhold from the person who God has really sent for us, then you will never really be fully able to experience the healthiness of being loved properly.
But if you can't give yourself that same type of love, how am I supposed to show it to you if you can't give it? Because you are my teacher.
We have to learn how to love ourselves.
You first have to recognize and realize that you deserve to be loved.
Come on now.
If you don't feel like you are capable of somebody loving you unconditionally, then no matter what they do, you're never going to be in a position to receive it. You've got to really break the myth of, I'm not worthy, because you've been through so many things and so many people have treated you like you were unworthy. That's your mindset and that's how you feel. So when somebody comes along and they really want to show you love, you reject it because it feels foreign to you.
And that's sad that if
you deserve what's being given to you.
But Kim, that's sad when I reject what I say I want because it feels foreign to me. So you talking about are the hoes winning? They know how to accept stuff.
You're not saying
wait. But look at what they're taking though.
They're taking all the money.
And that's it. They're not happy and whole.
Even beyond the money, though, it's some good girls or thoughts.
But these men adore them.
Husbands. They have some great husbands. I know some couples
Yes, they
myself
do.
personally, and I be looking like, why at the husband? Like, why are you still with her? Like, why you still with her? You are an awesome man. You provide, you do X, Y, and Z, and it seems like all she do is gripe and complain. She's starving. She don't cook. She don't clean. She don't do nothing. You do everything. Why are you still with her? So
Cause she
it
fine.
goes both ways.
Say that again. Say
Cause
that
she
again.
fine.
Say that one more time.
Cause
What's
she
wrong?
fine.
Thank you. She didn't
'Cause she
snatch it up. She didn't snatched it up. She didn't got a couple of ribs taken out. She didn't got stuff sucked out, stuff pushed in. She
She
so she got a body. So that's why he's still there.
That's why
Oh,
she
well,
fine.
well,
She is so
Wait.
cute.
What I hear you telling me is men
You know what?
thing on the interior of a woman. It's all about the outside. Is that what I hear you telling me?
That's
That-
90%. 90%. 90%.
But
But
we
let's
gonna
go
get
back
too
to
deep in that. That's another topic for another day. I already got it coming.
I'm just curious. So essentially, are you saying that the good girls are wasting time being good girls because
no. I'm not. No.
Yes.
if you look like you walk
You
around
shall
all day,
as
you
the
ain't you.
as the biblical say, you shall reap if you faint not. So if you keep doing
That's
what
not
you
like struggle love to me.
that's it. Like who?
Struggle love. That's not like
I'm not. I'm not saying stay in a relationship. I'm talking about do what you're doing, and the right one will come. You don't have to do all that
But
other
you
stuff.
gotta go through so many bad ones to get
You
to
don't
the
have.
right
You don't.
one.
You don't necessarily have to.
But that's
You
a
don't
myth,
necessarily
Kim.
have to.
But Kim, you don't have to go through
No,
it.
I'm saying
Hey,
that's what
yes,
it sounds like
yada,
he's saying.
yada. Yeah.
Oh, just endure. We've
No,
been
no, no,
made.
no, 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 no.
But you don't see. Let me say, I'm gonna say this, and I ain't defending nobody. I'm just gonna say this: you ain't
Okay.
gotta go through nothing. You can just wait your turn.
This is true.
Somebody just asked me a question this morning and said, Tiki, I'm the oldest of 3 children. Tiki, both of your brothers married. When you gonna get married? I said, when the right ones show up. Because as of this point, it's been all the wrong ones, and I don't want to commit to the wrong thing.
Read what Carlton putting down too when Kim done.
What? No, go
No, I
ahead.
said no. I wanted her to read what Carlton had just said.
We're saying to stop being blind and read the evidence that's in front of you.
What you do when the evidence is mixed signals?
It's
You
never
Let it go.
run, because the red flags is all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's my point, y'all. We know this because we've gone through these things. But what about the people who don't? We know this. We know to run from the red flag.
But Kim, we grown. We grown. We know how to stop.
Inconsistency is a red flag.
But some people, Jonathan, some people have a heart issue. Some people have issues with self-esteem. So if you show them a piece of attention, you have that old Betty Wright syndrome. A piece of man is better than no man at all. So they sit and they settle because they have not realized their worth yet. So I'm talking on behalf
Say that
of
part.
Say
that part. They haven't realized. And I will say this, as I say on another podcast, the success of your life rises and falls on the decisions that you make and or don't make. And just remember, a decision that you do not make is still a decision. So it's up to you to make the right decisions to be with that right person and or to say, you know what, let me back off because this ain't what I really want. Yes, I'm going to be single. Yes, I might be a little bit miserable, but I'd rather be peaceful in my singleness to live in hell with you. Because some women have lost their rabbit mind trying to find and or follow a piece of a man. And when they got to the next man, they didn't know how to respect him. Because it's what she prayed for, but she didn't see it in front of her.
Right.
No, Carlton, I know that. I ain't fixing nobody. I've been there. But there are still, because come on now, it's a younger generation that's coming behind us. And while some of them are very headstrong, some of them, sadly, will make a lot of the same mistakes that, we made. So we're sitting here and we're talking about breaking the myths so that they don't repeat the cycles. What are we telling them? the ones who don't know what we know. How
But
do
I
we break
but I
the myth?
but I think it's our job to start telling the truth
Now,
about what we do know, and tell them this, because I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say this: don't fall for if you see the red flag, pink flag, green flag, or yellow flag, run for your life, because then you getting your signal right there
Hey,
saying it ain't it.
hey, can I do this real quick? Hey Tiki, can I give you a high five real quick? Up top.
Pow,
One more time. One more time.
pow.
Boom. Hey, the thing is, we can talk to we blue in the face already listening. Some people just
Yeah.
gonna have to get. Some people just gonna have to get railroaded by that train.
And
I
guess
promise
what?
you, they just
We
gonna have to.
we can't save everybody because they're
Nope.
gonna have their own experiences anyway.
Look. I put my cape up some years ago. I said I was never gonna take it back out. That cape is drawn up, shriveled up, got dust on it. Because I spent my time running around trying to save the world, and the world wasn't listening. But then when they got railroaded, they came back and said, "Man, you know what, man? I mean, you was right." And I'm like, I didn't want to be right. I was just trying to tell you not to fall for what I fell for. That's all I want you
Listen,
to
life
realize.
is the best way to learn is to experience life. Some stuff you just got to learn from experience. And then the problem is a lot of us experience stuff, but we're not paying attention. We're not cognizant that this is a lesson. And so we keep going through it over and over and over again until we realize this is a cycle we're repeating that we don't have to keep repeating. It doesn't matter what we tell them if they're not going to understand until they go through it. Some people just not going to understand until you go through it.
True, but the crazy thing about that is there are some things that God really don't want you to go through because it's
It
not
is.
beneficial for your life. It's really
Mhm.
not beneficial for you, and all you're doing is spinning your wheels. And you've wasted 2 or 3 years doing something He told you not to even get involved with. He told you not to marry him. He told you not to date her. He said not even be friends with. He didn't even tell you to exchange numbers. And the sad thing is, I'm gonna go back to a conversation we had a couple of months ago. The sad thing is, we have made ministry a lifetime partnership. And God never told you to say I do to the person. He told you to tell them, hey, what thus saith the Lord.
you
We
don't put
fell in
the
love.
assignment
We
into
fell in love with the wrong. Hey, we fell in love with the wrong
the
person.
assignment.
We fell
Mhm.
with the assignment. And it was like, oh God, look, oh he's so nice. She's so pretty. All she needs is somebody good to stand by her side, and she gonna be all right. No, that's not your job.
You
You
was
are
just
not Jesus.
Well, you
You
know,
did not die. You did not die on the cross for them. You did not rise in 3 days with all power. You did not do that.
But
But you
there's contradictory going on kinda in the comments because in one breath some are saying show them, teach them, lead by example, and then in the other breath some are saying it's not our responsibility to save anybody.
ready?
So
I say get off the cross. Jesus already paid it off.
No, I'll say this: show them, teach them, train them, but you ain't got to marry them.
no,
You
You
we're
ain't
don't
talking
even
have
got to
about
to.
date them.
You don't
You
have to.
We talking
Thank
about the next generation, though.
no, we're
don't
talking
even
about the
have to
next
date them.
generation.
About the next generation. You are supposed to share with them. We are supposed to inform them. We're supposed to give them knowledge. It's up to them what they do with the knowledge and the information.
That's it.
Mhm.
But be open, honest, and transparent. That's the part I don't think we really are
Ooh,
because we are
Ronald.
still ashamed of what we went through. We have not dealt with what we went through. We have not forgiven ourselves for what we went through. So we don't tell the whole truth. We kind of put a little sprinkle on top of it so it can look kind of good and look kind of tasteful to them when we deliver it to them. But what they really need to know is the nights that we laid in the bed crying, the nights that we woke up throwing up, the days that we didn't even go to work, or the days that we went to work looking like a zombie, or the times that we tried to overdose, or the times we tried to play Russian roulette with the gun. We don't tell those parts. We don't tell, hey, I tried to commit suicide because he had me out there just on the string.
But that,
We don't tell that part. But
but
that's the part that needs to be told.
and that's what's wrong with ministry, and that's why ministry is ineffective because we're not being transparent. If you don't tell the truth about what you've been through, let me share this real quick. This just me. I don't want to talk about. I don't know y'all. I know Kim. I don't know y'all. I like y'all. I don't know y'all yet, but I'm gonna tell the truth about me. In 2009, I was dating this gentleman. I won't say his name, and I was in love with him, and he was fine. Okay. And I was saved and going forth in God and prophesying to the people and laying hands. And I was praying one night, and the Lord told me, don't let him in your house. Don't let him in your house, is what the Lord told me. I did just what I wanted to do. I let him in my house. 5-6 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant with my soon to be 11-year-old child. I didn't realize at the time when God was telling me told me not to let him in my house, that I was opening myself up to a psychotic mess. And for the first 5 years of my son's life, that man took me through. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I thought I was going to lose all the Tiki because of what he did to me mentally and emotionally. That's why God told me not to let him in my house. I stood in the pulpit at church when my son was 7 years old and told this story. And I said, I don't know why I'm telling y'all this story, because I normally don't tell my business. But when the Lord speaks and he gives you direct instruction, it is in your best interest to follow exactly what the Lord is saying, because you don't know what he's trying to save you from. 8 weeks later, I had 3 different girls come to me and say, Tiki, I should have listened to you because I'm pregnant. You can tell the truth. You can be transparent. They still gonna do what they want to do.
Life, they got to experience that life sometimes.
But you did what you supposed to do. That's the part. Some of us not even doing that. Some of us not even being open and honest with that.
How long
And if you do that, you did your part.
Okay.
But
Now
why?
the blood is off your hands. The blood is
But
off your
why?
hands.
We're conditioned culturally. What go on in this house, stay in this house. All of your business ain't nobody business. Don't let everybody know what you're going through. Some folks praying, other folks praying. Like, we're conditioned to keep secrets.
Yes.
We're conditioned to not be open, honest, and transparent about the things that we go through. You know, it takes, sadly, experiences like that. For me, it took me to go through things in life to and realize when I do open up and share what I've been through, that it actually ministered to somebody else. That is a trick of the enemy. That comes from the devil. Don't tell your business. Don't let nobody know what you're going through. Keep all that stuff to yourself, because your testimony is actually a portion of your ministry. That, like, for me, that's why I have such a passion for women, because I done been every kind of woman you could think of. If it doesn't happen, I done been through it. I know somebody that been through it, and we can hold hands and talk about it. But if the enemy can get us to keep our mouth closed, then nobody's ever going to be free. We have a problem with being transparent because we think, oh, people gonna talk about us. We don't want nobody in our business. Not even realizing that this ain't even your stuff. God is gonna use everything. There is nothing in God. Each and every portion of your life, the Lord will use. And guess what? He gonna use it for your good, because that's what he said.
That's what he said.
We just got to get out of the habit of being so secretive and being so ashamed. That's the trick of the enemy.
And guess what? Here's the thing. This is what I've learned. Can't nobody tell your story better than you.
Can't nobody tell it better than you.
You don't give anybody permission to tell your story. You don't give nobody no permission. Somebody gonna come and tell me, I heard about what Tiki, how she fell in the church and she got pregnant and she was 30, and I know her mom and daddy was embarrassed. The apostle, he was embarrassed. I said, no, the apostle came and scooped her up. My daddy came and scooped me up and said, you done messed up, but we finna help you get healed so you can get back up on your feet. You don't give permission. You don't give people permission to tell your story. I like to let me tell it, because I was there and I experienced it firsthand, and I got the scars to prove it, to show you how it really went down. Don't try to tell nothing for me. Let me speak for myself.
They're gonna add to it and take away,
and I don't want you to add to it and take away, because you're gonna leave out something that's needed to be told, that's gonna set somebody free. So let me tell the story.
We still there, Carlton.
I was wondering if somebody read that.
Well, we still there. We just sharing a little bit of experience about being a good girl, because that's one of the things that you told, especially like Tiki just said, when she fell. I don't even consider it fail. She lived. She went through some things. I won't even consider it falling. But that's the good girl myth. That's another one of those myths that good girls ain't supposed to do X, Y, and Z. And she done failed. And you know they used to call it ruin. You're spoiled. You're ruined.
Girl was spoiled.
Yes.
The old folks, they break your leg. Girl, I broke my leg.
Yes. Oh, she done broke her leg.
Broke it.
And you out there thinking something wrong with her.
Your mama ain't gonna tell you about that.
But I will say this. They said, do we finish last? We finish last, but we come out on top.
That part. That
My
part.
friend, I have a gentleman friend that called me and says, "I really do love you and care about you. Let me finish doing what I'm doing in the streets
Mm.
and clean my slate so I can come and get you and treat you right. Because I can't bring you into this mess."
Mm.
The question is, am I waiting? I'm waiting on God. I ain't waiting on him.
Okay,
I'm
because
waiting
I
on
was
You
gonna
God.
know
jump on
what?
that
You know
question.
what?
Is
You
you
know what? Let me
waiting?
see. You know what? Let me mute my mic. Mute. Ebony, I don't like you. Ebony, I don't like you. Because she said that when you said that. I don't know if anybody looked. She said, she was like,
I'm not waiting on them. Let me be clear. I ain't waiting on them.
Look, I
I'm gonna
think
wait on
you
God.
know, like
teacher, they was waiting. They was like, hold on, finish the sentence, finish the sentence, finish it. Yes, she finished it. Whew, because I was going to have to text her real quick. Like, girl, you
I
ain't
was
finished
gonna
that
get ready
correctly.
to say something.
I told you.
So, okay, we're talking about things that your mama didn't teach you, shattering the good girl myth or whatever. Ladies, if there's one myth or one thing that you've learned over time, that's not necessarily true. Is there a myth you want to shatter about being a woman, a good woman? Anything that you've been taught that you've become an adult and you realize that was a whole lie.
Bishop Glover preaching in the comments. I just want to tell y'all that.
The ideal of finishing last overlooks the power of finishing. The race isn't given to the swift.
I told you, look at Bishop coming
Do it
through.
to the strong.
Look at Bishop coming
What do we
through.
want? That
Ooh, child.
Do it to them.
Hey,
that's so silly.
Well,
Any
I'm
myth you
gonna
want to share,
say this is not something that I was necessarily taught, but I think it's something in general that they want, and we've said it, they want a good girl that really do like bad things. They just want you not to have done the bad things to everybody else.
or before
but they gonna have to get past that.
because we were
I
spoiled.
really wish somebody else would talk besides Ebony. Please, somebody else talk besides Ebony, because she just
We
Jesus.
already spoiled. We ruined already.
You ain't like y'all ruined. Y'all done broke your ankle,
We
your
done
big your
broke our
toe.
legs and everything. We
Y'all done
already
broke your
ruined.
y'all done broke a couple of bones in y'all legs. Now,
I
if
mean,
that's the case.
they don't want, the homies to know what you do. That's the reality of it. They want somebody that ain't been with the homies. Tell me
True.
I'm lying, Coach Jay.
No, true. We
You know
don't
what
want
I'm
you with
saying?
everybody.
So
The crazy thing is we want you to be bad. We just don't want people to know the bad that you've done. Our clique. We don't want our clique to know.
That's right.
And
Maybe in the
that's selfish
streets,
of us.
you know what? In the sheets.
Love you, love you, Bishop.
Is that what you're saying?
Say that again.
A
that's the
lady in the
truth.
streets.
Yeah,
They want
yeah,
you to be a lady outside, but when
Yeah.
you get in the
yeah.
house, they don't want it to be
We'll
nothing
see.
ladylike about you.
This is the thing. I cannot fault you for your past because we all have one. I just don't want your past to come up in my news feed. Like you got a 10-year picture and you got the prison pose with your hand on your hip and your booty out and half of your chest hanging. What? That was you 10 years ago? Oh, never mind. Swipe left. keep going. Keep
He said,
going.
"Swipe left."
You swipe left.
If I can break a myth, I like to use me as a real live example because So I was talking to my mother today, and we were having a conversation in all transparency about somebody that I used to date. And I was telling her, because they call like when you have some belongings of mine, and I would like for them back, and I have a plate that belongs to you.
My break that.
I said, break the plate. I will give you your paperwork. My mama, well, you ain't gotta be so mean. You ain't gotta I done broke up with people 30, 40 years ago. We still friends. And like I said, if that's what you choose to do now, that's on you. But me right here, once you show me that you don't value me, you don't respect me, there is no need for us to continue any kind of relationship. It is okay to close the door on people who don't value you and who don't respect you. You ain't got to stick around or let nobody stick around in your life. You ain't got to be nice. You ain't got to do none of that. Close the door. It is okay to walk away from people who don't value you. I don't care if you've known them for 33 years. Cut them off.
So first of all, somebody call me, ask me for some paperwork, I'm be like, baby, I burnt it. So if you want to get it out them ashes,
Can
you want to get it out
somebody
them
else talk
ashes.
besides
You
Coach
can
E?
have
Can
it.
somebody else
You,
talk besides Coach E?
I mean, I'm just saying what I'm saying while I'm
I'll put it in
saying
the
it,
mail.
baby.
I
Ain't
put
no
that in there
mail,
3 years
ain't no
ago. And
mail, cause
continue.
it's gone. Cause baby, when I'm finished,
The gift of
ain't nothing
goodbye.
you can do.
I didn't always have
It,
a gift of goodbye, but it will bless your life. You don't have
it'll
to let
bless you.
people just because it's the good girl thing to do. Just because it's the nice
I've
girl
been
thing to
telling you
do.
for
It'll
years,
Let
bless
you.
Kim.
you.
Give me a
Locking
minute.
you blesses me. Locking
It bless you.
you blesses me.
It took me a minute, but it's true.
You better
It's
block them.
true.
It's true.
But
You
when
don't
I
Block
be
have
through
to tell
finished, I
me.
be through finished all the way.
all the way.
All the way.
But that's
It's in the
another
mail.
portion of being a
Wait
good
for
girl.
She
You know, you don't
said,
do people how
blocking
they do
you
you.
blesses
Okay.
me.
Huh?
Blocking you blesses me.
Let him use you, sis. Let
Blocking
him
you
use you.
Let them use you.
Let him
blesses
use you,
me.
sis.
Tiki, I was about to tell you to take a text off that one.
Your
Shoot. Let me
penny
find
Oh, blocking you
counts not
blesses
an
me.
inch
I'm a
short
preach that thing in
now.
3 weeks. Give me 3 weeks. Let me get my
Blocking
sermon together. I'm
you
going to get my scriptural text
blesses
ready. I'm
me.
gonna go on Facebook Live and get that to you. I'm gonna do that for y'all. I got you.
Okay, so first of
Come
all,
on with it.
I'm about to address
I'm
this
a
right here.
fan.
I got something for that
For
because that's a
what?
lot.
What Carlton said?
Saying goodbye isn't always that simple, depending upon how long the relationship has been, what's been invested, times. So first of all, let me go ahead and let y'all know
We ain't
because
got
the
no
spirit.
time.
Because the spirit of petty has arisen in me. So first of all,
Let
let
it
me tell
go.
you
Let it
something.
go. Let it
No, no,
go.
no, no. Let me
Go
tell you
ahead,
something.
baby.
So
Go ahead, baby.
first of all, when you have shown me that you do not have my best interest at heart, when you are toxic, when you have me having to call my doctor and get on antidepressants because I done had to do that twice with 2 husbands. When you take me down through there, cutting you off ain't nothing but a thing. So, baby, what you gonna have to do is pack your stuff and get out. And we finna talk to this lawyer. Cause what we pack light, baby, pack light. Because no, ma'am, what I will not do in any more of the rest of the years that the good Lord has given me to live on this earth is be in a toxic relationship. If you are not adding to me, if you are not giving to me, we do not experience reciprocity, ain't got nothing for you. My ministry of cut off is very strong. Y'all can go ahead, call the ushers to come on and bring the
Preach
chairs to the door because it's over. Because ain't look, and my improper grammar ain't no, and that's what I meant. Ain't no staying in nothing toxic for your girl. Y'all can do what y'all want to do, but Ebony, Lachelle, will not exist in anything toxic from this day forth. So, baby, if you can't give to me what I'm gonna give to you, we ain't got nothing to
Leave me
discuss.
alone.
But Ebony,
Leave me
don't
alone.
call. I don't want you to call for the ushers. I want you to call for the funeral home to come. Take the body on up out the church because we getting rude. We gonna bury this thing.
Ebony, Jesus came in a Honda, left in a ship. Hey, I felt all of it.
It takes a whole, you know, but that's the point. Once you realize that you have put up with far too much, far too long. That's me. I will give you, and Ebony gets on to me about this all the time because I give chance after chance. I try to
Yes,
give
no.
grace. I try to extend mercy. But the thing about me is when I am done through finish, I'm done through finish. You ain't gonna be able to backpedal and come back and say, you know, well, I messed up that time because I've given you the opportunity. I've extended you grace. You know, I've done all of those things. So when I walk away with a clear conscience because I've given you ample time and ample chances. You do not get the same version of me. You better catch me
No,
when I care. Because when I do
catch
not
me while
care
I
anymore,
care.
when I don't care anymore, bye. Goodbye. Lock the door, all of them. Throw the key, do whatever. Bye.
Listen, I
See,
am
and I
loyal
was
to a
like that
fault.
too. I was like that too.
Yeah, and I used to be like that too, but no.
If
I'm gonna
after
give you
a while, you get
what you give
tired.
me.
You get tired after a while. You know.
I
So,
am a direct reflection of how you treat me. It's a mirror.
a whole
Mirror
mirror.
reflection.
It's a whole mirror.
Oh God. Oh, please don't let her start that.
Come on, sis.
Jesus.
Come on now.
Don't start her. Please don't start her. She'll be doing it all
You
night.
know I
Told you.
love it. I love all that foolishness.
Jonathan, you are such a hater. You're such a hater.
Yeah, but that loyalty in me.
I happen to like him. I want him to be my new best friend.
Don't boost his head up, Tiki.
I'm
Don't
doing.
boost his
Y'all
head
in the
up.
same city.
He
The-
cool.
the-
We high fived and everything.
Y'all
He
in the
cool.
same city.
The
Huh?
gift of
Y'all in
goodbye.
the same city.
You in Detroit?
Yeah. They don't understand that. They don't understand. Them two up top like what up though?
What up, though?
What up? Well, hold on. I want to say
Like,
them three up top.
well,
Them three up top, because one of the three that's up top be acting like she ain't from the D sometimes. She be acting, she got
Lies
that
you
little
tell.
country,
I
that little
reps
country
I
spit.
reps my city hard. Emily be like, you ain't even from Detroit no more. You done been here too long. Don't do me. Don't do me.
first of all, call me country again and see what happens.
What happened? What's going to happen?
Treat them accordingly. It takes a while to let go because I'll give you chances, but when and I'm the same way. You know, I'll give you grace. I'll extend mercy. I'll extend grace to you. It takes me a while.
But what's too much though? What's too much? What's too much grace?
And loving you is hurting me.
Yes, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too
When
much.
loving you is hurting me, it's too
Yes.
much.
Yes. When
How do we get to
I
that
love
point?
you so much and you
How do we get to that point though? How do we get to how do we allow ourselves to get to that point? That almost over the edge point.
by extending too
By
much
extending
grace.
grace.
By extending
By
too much
extending
grace.
grace.
By being
Because
dumb.
what?
She being dumb.
By
Tiki
being
said-
dumb.
Because
Okay, that's the
men
Tiki.
believe that when a woman forgives them for a mistake over and over and over again, they think
But she
that they
gonna put
can
up with
keep making that
anything.
mistake. They
She gonna
Ronald
think
put
that
up
said
with
it
they
best.
anything.
keep making
Ronald
that
said it best. When we lose
Because
ourselves. That's it.
because
but
as
when you
a
lost
man
me, baby, you
hurts
lost the
you,
best
the
part of
more you
yourself.
Did
Okay,
she press mute? Wait, did she press mute and don't know she
we
pressed
can't
mute?
hear
I
you,
think
Andy.
no, y'all can't hear me.
Now
we can hear you now.
Okay, I think with men, as we forgive men for the hurt, they love us more because we forgive them, but we love you less because we're having to recover from hurt.
It's true.
I disagree.
I don't
No,
agree with that.
no, it's true.
You know what? I
It's
can
true.
speak for me. From
Speaking from a man, you know, that's where I am.
when my husband, when my ex, repeatedly did what he did, while he may have loved me more for me staying, I loved him less.
I get what you're saying, but I think I'm looking at it from the standpoint of if you constantly disrespect me and I constantly forgive you for disrespecting me, that really means that you really don't care a whole lot about me, and then
Nope.
that you're comfortable with disrespecting me because
That's what I mean.
whatever you want, and I'm still be here.
Nope, I'm not gonna let you do that, Kim. Kim, I love you because you're from the D, but I'm not gonna let you do
I
that.
love you more. So you don't think that that's true?
No. Reason why he can disrespect you or reason why she can disrespect you is because you don't have enough self-respect for yourself to say enough is enough.
No, but the truth of the matter
And
is,
there's
the
no
more
limit.
times you
There's no boundary. You have not set a boundary.
that's true. But the more times you give somebody a chance to disrespect you, the more they're inclined to disrespect you.
Because you showed them that it's okay.
So that's why I said I don't equate me forgiving you more means you love me more. Because if you keep doing things and I keep forgiving you, that you can't love me because you wouldn't continually do things to hurt me.
Because sometimes you got to handle stuff like a baseball game. 3 strikes you out.
But it's not the fact that we love you more. We just understand that your bounds for our mess up is a little bit wider than we thought. So thank you for letting me know that up top. Thank you. That's all that is. That's all it is. Now, if a man is truly sorry and or repentful and he don't want to do that again, now I respect your boundaries because you have showed me where they are. And if I want to stay with you, I need to respect what you have given me. But if you don't give me any, what am I respecting?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Richard. Like, I don't think that you constantly being able to disrespect me equates to love. Like, you don't care nothing about me. You don't care nothing about me if you can just keep on
It's
sitting
true
up here
to
doing
people
what you
though.
know hurt me.
Well,
I mean,
I
some
do
men
love
swear
you.
they love you. They love you.
No,
Yeah,
That's another
I
matter.
love you because you let me
Another
do what I
matter.
do. You
They
let me
they
do what I
they
can
but
do.
they do. They love us. They
no.
love us because you gonna let me do what I do. I can keep coming back. I love you because you dumb enough to stay. I love you because ain't nobody else gonna let me get away with this. So I'm gonna stay over here
Come on,
and
T.
and
Come on,
and,
T.
and when I mess up, I'm gonna come back and sing that same sad song
Come on,
like
T.
Anita Baker. I apologize.
Come on,
And
T. Give me
yeah,
two.
I
so yeah.
Come on, don't do
apologize.
that. Come on, T. Can I get
But
two?
Carlton,
One.
is that really love though? Is that
It's
really
not.
love? If somebody
It's
continues
No,
to, is that
no.
love?
What that is self-love. That's
yes,
selfishness.
yes.
That's
That's
selfishness.
what it
That's
is.
not love. Because
And it's
Yeah,
love.
love does not hurt. Love is not
it's not
proud. Love is
supposed
not
to. But
boastful.
I don't know.
That's selfishness. You know, when you love someone, the last thing you want to do is hurt them. You're more cognizant and aware of your actions towards them. You don't want to
He's
hurt someone. Now, intentional hurt and a mistake are two different things.
different
But if
things.
I told you you're hurting me and you
And you
continue
do it
to do
again?
something that hurts me,
Yeah, you don't care
that's
about me.
not love. I don't care
You don't
what you
care
say.
about
That
me.
ain't no, that's selfishness.
You don't care
Ronald
nothing about me. And
Ronald
so,
said you just need to wear a T-shirt that say "Welcome."
and that's and see, but Carlton, I'm glad you brought that up because that's yet another myth. That's kind of like what we were talking about in the beginning. You put up with something, and you got to put up with a little bit because you love somebody. Compromise and putting up with something. Compromise is I like it 68 degrees. You like it 78 degrees. We're gonna put it on 73. That's a compromise. But you steady going out here doing things that you know that are going to hurt me and affect our relationship, and I'm just supposed to forgive you continually because I love you. That's not a compromise. That ain't a
Oh
compromise.
no, nope.
No, baby.
Kim,
I'm
read what
sorry.
That's
she just said. Hey
that's
sis,
being
read what he just
That's
said.
BS,
that's
man.
self.
What he say?
What I'm saying is that love is patient, and yes, when you've been wronged and there's love there, you will be patient more. You will be patient more with others. Is that right and healthy? No.
No, no.
So listen. Okay, because Carson, I want to address a question you asked me earlier on how long did it take me? My situation was different because I was married. Now, had I been dating the gentleman, it wouldn't have taken that long because I'm just not going to continue to be with you and you don't want to act right. So what that means is I don't like to repeat myself. So if I have to continue to tell you the same thing over and over again, that's a red flag for me. If we start arguing, that's a red flag for me. If you make me feel anxious in any way, shape, form, or fashion, that's a red flag for me. I'm gonna cut that off. If if I feel in any way, shape, form, or fashion that you're going to get physical with me, that's three red flags. You out. So it don't take that long. So if people are wronging you in the dating phase, if they're doing something in the dating phase that sends off red flags, when you marry somebody, all you do is put your stamp of approval on their behavior. Things are not going to get better. Yes, Coach J.
I just want to know: have we talked about healthy boundaries in a relationship?
Not yet.
We're
And
getting there. We're getting there.
you got about 5 minutes to address.
No, I was just asking because another way for us to make sure that we are showing our significant other how to love us is making sure that we have those safety boundaries in our relationship. Like, hey, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is where I stand on this. This is where I stand on this. This is where I stand on this. This is what I'm compromising on because everybody have their list of stuff. But if y'all never like we talked about the five love languages before, if you don't know your five love languages and if you don't give them to yourself, how can I give them to you?
Mm. Okay.
Healthy boundaries. If you want a healthy relationship, you got to start setting healthy boundaries with self first. Because if you don't set them with self, you can't expect me to know what's good and bad because you haven't told me what's good and bad. Some women like public affection, some women don't. So if I'm a man who love public affection, which I do, and I want to hug and hold you, man, get off. Why are you doing that? It's hot with this mask on and you all breathing on my. You just turned me off from you by doing that. But it was wrong because I didn't know you didn't like that. Because you haven't told me your likes and dislikes. You haven't put this guard around. And I'm not saying a guard as a wall. I'm just saying this is me. This is who I am. Respect this because that's what this is. Because Kim, if you don't tell me, I don't know. I didn't know you ain't like red Kool-Aid. My bad. I grew up on red Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? I like sugar and butter in my rice. I didn't know you like salt and pepper.
That's not of God.
Don't you do that. Don't you
Wait,
do that.
hold on. I'm just giving analogies. Wait, I'm just giving analogies. But I do like sugar and butter. You know,
I want you to get delivered. Okay, go ahead.
You know, let me press mute. Y'all go ahead and talk. Let me get my. Yeah, it's even earth.
If it ain't no
What if
cheese,
you didn't know that was
It
one of
hurt
your
my
red flags? Did you talk about it before you just come on? Absolutely. Absolutely. In all relationships, you have to have a communication. You know, of course, if you do something that I don't like, and I'm just speaking from my standpoint, good girls don't get taught about boundaries. They get taught to love and keep. Thank you, Richard. But yeah, you don't just cut somebody off. You don't just cut them off. Absolutely, you talk about it. But if it becomes something that's repetitious, like Ebony said, if it happened and then we have a conversation about it, and I tell you I don't like it, but you persist on doing it, that's a red flag. And we can't do this. We can't do this. Now to what Richard said, good girls don't get taught about. What did he say? Go back, Ebony.
Oh, wait.
I can't stand Richard. I can't. Ain't your bedtime, Richard. You take your hotel to sleep. Get on my nerves.
Good girls
Come
don't
get your cousin.
about boundaries. They get taught to love and keep loving and going at all costs, and that is so true. And that's what we were saying in the beginning. That's basically what we're taught. You got to learn how to put up with a little bit.
No. True, but there comes a time and a place where we learn right from wrong for ourselves.
Yeah, but we
do
so
that.
much hell to get to the knowledge that I really didn't have to go through all I went through had I just been taught different or shown different. Like I said,
I'm gonna tell y'all about my first love, my high school sweetheart. We went through a spell where he wasn't talking to me. We didn't have an official breakup, and I just decided, okay, forget it. I'm done with it. I'm not gonna call this man no more, whatever. And there was a mutual friend of the family, an elder lady, and she was like, "Oh, Lisa, just give him time, y'all, just work it out." I was like, but he cheating. Why would I? He talked to another girl. Why should I? Well, my husband had a whole nother baby with someone else, and that ain't my testimony, sister. It ain't gonna be mine, But that's one thing that we're being taught as a younger. I was 18. Why should I? 17, as a matter of fact, 17. Why would you tell a 17-year-old young girl that she's supposed to be putting up with a cheating man?
Because back then, that's what they did.
Because that's what they did back then.
Sis, thank you. That's what they were taught.
That's what they were taught.
Sissy, up top. We on the same page for once in our life. Look at that.
My grandfather turned 100 in January. Him and my grandmother had 14 children together. And he got 9 other kids. with
and grandmama stayed.
And my grandmama stayed.
And she knew the whole time.
To her dying day. She stayed there with him. My grandmama died when I was 21, and my granddaddy yet alive in the land of the living, walking on the walks.
If you go pick up a puppy without telling me about it, I'm gone. So I know you ain't gonna bring no children up and through here.
I can't pick up Snoopy. I can't pick up Snoopy. Kim, I can't pick up a puppy.
You better call me and tell me you bring a Spot before you get Spot to the house so I can figure out where we go pit him. You better not come walking up and through here with no puppy. You ain't said nothing to me about.
And you ain't said nothing about it.
I'm gonna get a goldfish then, Kim. Kim, I'm gonna get a goldfish.
Because who gonna clean the tank?
That part right there. Who finna do that?
Peaky, click off. Let's leave.
Don't bring nothing to this house but some groceries without calling me.
And don't come up in here with no any kind of groceries because tonight I might not be cooking.
You gotta call me.
Because I probably already ordered out.
And that's it.
Don't be that man that showed with pizza that enslaved in the kitchen for 5 and 6 hours.
Well, you better tell me you didn't slave, shoot. Because if I don't know you didn't slave, I'm bringing that hot and ready in and call it a day, shoot.
If you
I got the
a
extra
woman
most bestest.
daily,
I got the extra most
know she done
bestest.
cook.
I done put cheese in your crust and everything, girl. You better eat this piece of shoot.
Okay,
And
so
I got the
y'all
sauce.
listen.
Trying to surprise you with your favorite meal, and you come home with a hot and ready.
With the cheese and the crust.
You and that hot and ready gonna be sleeping in the car.
So listen. So to bring it back,
Oh yeah, we gotta
do
bring it
good
back.
girls finish last. Sounds like a yes, but they finish on top.
We finish on top.
Finish on top.
Ah.
So before we close
Like I'm
out, do
putting
y'all
up
have
the
any
inside
last
now.
words for the congregation?
No, my thing is always, I think somebody just said it, you gotta know what you're worth. A lot of these cycles can be broken if you really realize that it starts with you. You set the mold, you teach people how to treat you. If someone treats you in a manner that makes you feel anything less than love, and it's a continual act, then it's time for you to exit. Don't continue to
Hallelujah.
put yourself in cycles of brokenness.
Yes.
Teach people how to treat you. It's okay to be a good girl to a good guy. Don't pour all your oil into the wrong basket, and when it's time to cook, you ain't got nothing left.
My God. You just preached the sermon from the mount. Come on, daughter.
And don't give me that oil from the Folgers can
Fish
either. I
grease.
want fresh oil.
Don't get that old fish grease.
I don't want that old fish grease. I want some fresh oil. Don't give me that bacon
You
grease.
want some new fresh vegetable
Gonna
grease.
get that bacon
Come on.
Fresh canola.
Y'all know what? I
Reserve
can't.
your oil for the one that God has for you.
If I can say anything
Well,
to
when I say
anybody,
keep your lamp trimmed and burning.
Go ahead.
if I can say anything
Go ahead,
to anybody, male or female, don't be afraid to walk away from the red, green, yellow, purple flag. Don't be afraid. I don't care how good you think it is. I don't care what the potential is in that person. Don't be afraid to walk away.
Shanika, any last words?
My drop in this little bucket would be love yourself enough to know that you are enough. Whether you have to do it alone or with someone, and don't be afraid to, like you said, walk away if it's necessary. But love yourself enough to know that you are enough.
That's good. Jay?
Oh, me? Oh, I get to say something? Oh, man. Shoot. Shanda. Etaya. Oh, I'm sorry. I
You
would
make me
say
so
the same
sick.
thing. I would say the same thing I've been saying for the past couple of weeks. The success of your life rises and falls on the decisions that you make and or do not make. But always remember, the decisions that you don't make is yet still a decision. First Lady preached today about your choices. Make sure you're making the right choice, even if it's a choice to walk away for peace sake. Because the one thing you do not want to lose is the peace that God has given you.
My
Because
God.
once you lose that, baby, for some people they have never gotten it back, and some people have lost their lives for the sake of peace and for peace sake. So please, by all means, make sure that you are choosing and making the right choice.
Y'all is preaching on
Jesus, that was quick
my
word.
Lamb of
My
God.
God. What's your cash app? I'm gonna send you $2.
I went to the building. I was at the building today. I ain't go to virtual. I was at the whole
He
building.
said he
Man
went
of
to the
God,
building.
it shows you have supped with the Lord on today.
Oh,
Ebony, any last words?
My last words.
Break out in the song. Come on.
Keep your heart twisted.
I was just about to say that.
Keep your heart. Play your part. No, for real.
These girls are smart.
For it would be to set your boundaries and do not ignore them. Know, most definitely figure out what your worth is and what that looks like for you, and hold strong to that.
And add tax.
People and add tax, and I think we also and be accountable for what you let slide, because a lot of times we blame other people for our self-inflicted hurt, and you have to be accountable to that. So know what, recognize and accept what doesn't feel good for you, what doesn't minister to your spirit, and and hold to that, and no matter how much, and we have to be in tune with when what we need doesn't look like what we want. So you can join us May the 16th at 7 p.m. Central for that conversation. But yeah, just know your boundaries, set your boundaries, and those spiritual guardrails or spiritual and emotional guardrails are there for a reason. So pay attention. But
Tiki?
we are. Oh, girl, I thought I would last. Tiki,
No, you laugh. I was going to go ahead and
look,
finish up
the way I was going to shut it down.
No, I was going to ask Tiki to pray us out.
Tiki, pray.
I'm ready. I'm safe.
Yes.
We see I stood up. Come on, girl.
Be
Come on.
ready.
She stood all the way up.
I
She's like,
jumped
prayer. Oh, hold on, come on, let's go.
Ready.
Come on.
No, seriously.
Let the
Ooh,
church
Father, we just
say amen.
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. We thank you for this awesome platform to communicate and share, Lord God, to bring light to ourselves, each other's, our brothers and our sisters. And we pray that someone's life was changed for the better and someone received insight on tonight. We ask right now, Lord God, that as we leave this broadcast, but never your presence, that you would be with us and that you would send your angels to be encamped around about us, and that you would bring us back together to bless your name, to talk to each other, to share laughter, but to share the word of God and to lift each other up in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
May his peace
Thank
be
y'all for
with you
joining. We love you
Thank
guys.
you for letting me come
until
on. I
we
love y'all.
meet
Thank you.
Y'all, good night. Be blessed.
again.
Week.
May his peace
Yes. Bye.
be with you.